And it's a schus to say the following question in this place. Rabbi Yitzchak Breiter says every Jew has to ask himself, no matter where they are in the world, the following question: how badly do I want to be in Eretz Yisrael today? By the way, I would say this in Yerushalayim. It's not this like Galus thing. Oh, he's coming from Israel. He's playing the Zionist propaganda. It's nothing to do with that. It has to do with wherever you are in the world. In Yerushalayim, I live in the Veit Daniel, right between Yerushalayim and Hebron, Avram Avinu and Binyan David V'Melech. It's like this is everywhere. You could be standing on Har HaBayis and asking yourself the same question. But Rabbi Yitzchak Breiter says that when you ask yourself the question, how badly do I want to be in Eretz Yisrael today? You just have that question hovering above you, in front of you, then the rest of your day is mapped out so beautifully. Why? Because Rabbi Nachman has 3 words that he says throughout the Likutei Moharan: Ha'ikar talui baratzon. Everything is dependent on how badly you want something. Everything. Ha'ikar talui baratzon. And here I want to share with you why I am the most thankful person in the world to the Ribono Shel Olam. I feel, and I shouldn't say that, but I feel that about myself, that I could never thank the Ribono Shel Olam enough for giving us a privilege to look into the teachings of Reb Shlomo, to begin to understand Rabbi Nachman on his surface. Reb Shlomo says a line which is based on Torah Vav. If you know anything about Breslov, Torah Vav, Kras Yeshua is a fundamental teaching in the Rebbe's works, a very long, intense teaching, surrounded by the theme of tshuva. But he goes through Sfiras HaOmer, Pesach, Shavuos. The truth is, every single concept you ever heard of is in this teaching, in Torah Vav. Reb Shlomo says the following, and it's really Rabbi Nachman's words. It's a Carlebachian Breslov understanding. Listen to this statement. It's frightening. A person is not who he or she is because maybe they're not where they want to be at. A person is who they want to be. And we live in a world where today, whenever a rabbi wants to sound cool, so he'll start bashing the term of labels. If you want to get people to listen to you and think you're open-minded, right? So no such thing, Orthodox, conservative, and reform, and of course we know we're standing in a place where that didn't exist, but, because that's the Ribono Shel Olam. But there is a label. There's a label, we should all try to become this label, and that label is called Ratzon. A person is not who he or she are. Right now, we are not, we have to be defined, we are not who we are right now. Because hopefully none of us are where we eventually would like to get. We're always trying to get another step, one more step closer. A person is, where do they want to be? And that defines who a person is in this world. To me, that teaching is Kol HaTorah Kula of Rabbi Nachman. Especially when it comes to Pesach. Because on Pesach, the Rebbe says another startling statement, which again, by the way, just to go back, when I had shared this concept of He'arat HaRatzon, of the enlightenment of will, with this Breslov Rebbe, he looked at me and we had to stop the car. He could not believe that after learning Rabbi Nachman for all these years, he just didn't go to the pshat of what the Rebbe was saying with the enlightenment of will. And of course he asked for more, and more, and more. So Reb Shlomo says, in the name of Rabbi Nachman, that when it comes time for Pesach, especially Seder night, there's a concept called Siluk Hadat. Siluk Hadas. Histalkus Hadas. Siluk Hadas doesn't mean I'm chirping and I can't think of anything. Siluk Hadas means I'm choosing to stop thinking. Bruchim Habayim. So listen to this. This is so important because it's so hard and yet it's so easy and it's so everything at the same time. Rabbi Nachman says, Al ken tzarich lesaleg da'ato legamre. When it comes to Pesach, if you think too much about how you're going to feel free and be free, you're going nowhere and you're definitely not going anywhere fast. Shlomo says, what happens when you're thinking too much? You can't run. You cannot run. You can't physically move in this world in a faster pace when you're thinking too much. There's no way. You can't do it. Al ken tzarich lesaleg da'ato legamre, and here we see a connection between the Beis Midrash of Rabbi Nachman and the Beis Midrash of Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen of Lublin, where it was known that one of the Sfarim that they always had by Rabbi Tzadok, in fact, there's even, I heard this in the name of Berlin, Shlita, there was a Perush of Rabbi Tzadok on Likutei Moharan, which we don't have anymore. But Rabbi Tzadok's, in one of his awesome Sfarim, of the many that he has, he begins his Tziskas HaTzadik with saying, Reishis Knisas HaAdam, V'avodas Hashem tzarich lios b'chipazon. That the only way in the world that you really go into the service of the Kadosh Baruch Hu, it's in haste.
Speed of light.
Speed of light. It's almost saying like people that try to quit smoking. So how many people have tried to go down from 20 to 15 to 10 to 5? Well, it really doesn't usually happen. En ma lasot, it's the cold turkey. It's that thing. It's the tzarich l'saleg da'ato legamre. If you're thinking too much about how much you're going to be stopping and how many, what pace, quantity, quality, it's never going to happen. So yesterday, bless you. Yesterday I had an awesome. I wish I could have been here, but I was with this beautiful, young, powerful chevra in NYU. Strong chevra. And I spent some time with, Rav Korn, the fireball. But the Talmidim, the students there, it was awesome. It was awesome. And we did some really strong learning before Mincha Shabbos afternoon. But I asked all of them the following question. I said, what have you been told about acquiring knowledge? For what? Why you're all academics here, you're future scholars. Why are you attempting to acquire so much knowledge in this world? So everyone's hands went up. And one person said, I just had time for one. I said, okay, what's the deal? Knowledge is power. Very true statement. And I said, and knowledge is power for what? Knowledge is power for action, they said. I said, thank you for setting me up for such a perfect teaching from Rabbi Nachman, which is what I end with right now. Knowledge is power for action. The ultimate knowledge is to choose to turn off your mind and to stop using that tool which you usually use only for accumulating knowledge. Hardest thing in the world. Like right now, I don't want anyone to think right now about what color my yarmulke is. Try it. And even those of you who aren't looking, you're thinking about not looking and working hard and not looking at my yarmulke, right? Al ken tzarich lesaleg da'ato legamre. In order to free my mind, not just my goof, but to free my mind. The only way I could really free my mind is called histalkut hadat. Ultimately, not to ruin, like it's not like the way Avram was saying before. I'm not going to say, like, go and sin and then be able to do tshuva. But you can't really. It's a matana. It's a matana. And you learn this matana. I don't know about you, but before I met my Eshes Chayil, I had a pretty few very weird dates and a few very interesting dates where I realized that, okay, it can't just be that I'm not supposed to, if I don't want to marry this person, I'm not supposed to have anything to do with them ever again, and there was no point to even seeing them. One time I ended a date following the girl home and asking her if I can give her a kvitlach. I thought she was my Rebbe. This is not for now, but one time I was on a very, very beautiful moment in Yerushalayim before Pesach, and this girl had said, very sweet, not shaykh for me, but she said a really important thing. She said, in Hebrew, there's two words for waiting. Well, there's three. There's two words and there's one hand movement. What's the hand gesture, which I hate? This could cause you, you'll stand. Or this. But in Hebrew, these two words, and back to Torah Vav, there is a word of hamtana, lehamtin, hamten, omrim lo hamten. When a person's rushing to feel everything, do tshuva, feel gewalt, omrim lo hamten, wait. And in Hebrew, hamten, and the word letters matana. The greatest gift in the world is when you learn the secret of waiting, how to wait. But if you don't learn the secret of how to wait, sometimes you can't wait. You know why? Because there's a word called savlanut, which means patience. But savlanut comes from the word sevel, lisbol, to suffer, to tolerate suffering. To tolerate suffering. And when the Rebbe said Ad Masai, the Babich Rebbe said Ad Masai, till when? And every Yid has to scream Ad Masai. I feel like both Hamten and Savlanut were both in those words Ad Masai. Because we're saying Ad Masai, Ribono Shel Olam, we're learning so much. We're learning, we're waiting. Everything's a matana, everything's from you, but for his sake, who doesn't know how to wait matana, he waits and it's seven. I'm not asking for one more second for the geula to be pushed off. Not for 1 second. So Be'ezrat Hashem, this coming Rebbe's birthday tomorrow night, well, how many years? 241 years ago, right? 241, 1772, 2013, is that right? 241 years ago, this great shining light, great grandson of Baal Shem Tov came down into the world to teach us everything that we need until Mashiach is coming. But to teach us these three words, Ha'ikar Talui Baratzon. I want to just end by thanking one person who you're going to hear from in a minute. When I was 16, Reb Shlomo Chaim, I called you and I said, I can't wait for Tchias HaMeisim because I can't go to sleep at night knowing that this Rebbe, Reb Shlomo, just died. And me and my children, we missed it, we were too young. And you were doing a million things, but you gave me the secret of Hamtana. I just realized this right now because you said to me that story, Mami, whose funeral it was when someone came. Uval Shemesh was someone that was at the funeral of someone else who said, I remember there was a funeral of a great tzaddik. Who was it?
The Santa was next to the old man said, no, the young kid said, the Rebbe, he said, the sun's never going to rise again. That sun's never going to rise again. There was an old man present there, and he said, I remember, when the 50, 60 years earlier, here Berlin left this world, everybody said the same thing, the sun is never going to rise again. You know what, children? The sun rose again.
I'm eternally thankful for that phone call because look at this.
Obviously Shlomo's Torah for us. someone told us that story.
But that's everything. Bezrat Hashem, but the sun rises again for us to say, this is what I want, Ribbon Shalom. Please show me what I want. Shlomo quoted Rabbi Nachman and saying, we say on Shabbos, "V'hanchilenu Hashem Elokeinu be'ahava u'v'ratzon." You know what Shabbos gives you? Shabbos gives you, Rabbi Shlomo says, a taste of what you want, my ratzon, and a taste of what I really love in the world. V'hanchilenu Hashem, my nachala. What I receive from Shabbos is a taste of what I truly, my ratzon is, and please show me what I truly love in this world. We should all be privileged. The Shana Hazos B'nei Choyrim. Thank you so much, everyone.